Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out this new frame from XBEE. It's called the XBEE-X V2, and I've laid out all of the parts here on the table. The nice thing about this kit is that all of the pieces are individually sealed in these little plastic sections, so it's really easy to tell what's what, and everything is clearly labeled in the diagram here. So I just want to point out a few things. For example, it shows you which screws to use and what size. So these are M3 screws, and say this is 15 millimeters. And they'll say there's 4 of these, and there's 4 of the 10 millimeters. And the screws are all individually sealed here. So you got the 15 millimeter, for the 10 millimeter, for the 8 millimeter, and some of these 5 millimeter screws. They're all M3 screws. So that's the nice thing about this kit, is that everything is separated and all of the parts are explained. So for example, here are the little, this is the pieces, carbon pieces for the FPV camera, and there's 2 different types here, and in the diagram here it's explained that there's a 29 millimeter width version and a 28 millimeter width version, so you use one or the other based on what camera you want to use in this quad. So the quality of these carbon pieces are really good, well cut and clean. There's no carbon dust on the sides, and all of the sharp edges are chamfered, so there's no actually no sharp edges at all along here, unlike a lot of the cheaper frames where they don't bother to do that and clean up the cutting. This arm here is about 4 millimeters, I believe. Yeah, it's exactly 4 millimeters. So it's a thin arm. I'm not going to put any ESCs on here in the build I'm doing. I'm going to be using a 4-in-1 ESC, so there won't be anything out here, but this carbon is very tough and should be resilient to a lot of crashes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll take all the pieces out of the little bags here, and then we'll go ahead and start building it based on the diagram that I just showed you, so I can show you how to put this together if you guys get this kit. So the bottom section of the quad here, with the bottom plate, the arms, and this piece right here, which actually has these little screw holes that secure the bolts that go through the arms, and that's the thing that actually holds everything together. It looks like you're going to use the 15 millimeter screws in the inner holes and the 10 millimeter screws on the outer holes. So let me go ahead and put that together. Okay, so this is what the bottom section looks like with all of the bolts in. You got the 15 millimeter bolts on the inside, and I think this is also going to where your flight control is going to be placed in your ESCs, and then the 10 millimeter bolts are on the outer section here, and the arms are just sandwiched in between this little support or support piece, I guess, and then this bottom plate here. So that's what it looks like. Also, you guys should take note that for orientation, this is the front end and that's the back end here, because this is where the 2 pieces for the camera holder are going to go into these 2 slots. You got 4 standoffs here, these 4 holes here. There's this little support piece here that you got to use, and you're going to use some different screws for these posts. So for the ones where you have a double plate here, and then to put the 2 posts in, you're going to use the 8 millimeter screws, and then the back one here where you just have the post itself, you use the 5 millimeter screws. Okay, so here's the back end here, and I'm using the 5 millimeter screws on these posts in the back. And on the front here, we got this extra little piece to brace the front. You're going to use the 8 millimeter screws for these posts. And we'll go ahead and put the top plate on along with the FPV camera mount. Okay, so here's the top plate secured on, and you've got a couple of different optional pieces for the back part here for the video transmitter. Because there's 2 plates here, you're going to use the longer screw in this back standoff, and that's the 8 millimeter screw, and then the 4 millimeter screw in the front where it's just a single plate. Getting these two side mounts here for the FPV camera is a little tricky because of the tight fit here, with it sort of leaning against, rubbing against the standoff here. This little piece wanted to come in at an angle, and you want to make sure that you snap that all the way back and it's straight. Otherwise it'll be crooked and you won't be able to get these screws in. So something you should keep in mind. But here it is. Basically this is the structure of the whole quad. There are some extra pieces here you can put on top for the GoPro session mount, but I'm going to be using a TPU session mount on mine, so I'm not going to be using that. Yeah, it's designed for 22 size motors. You got your FPV camera here in the front with quite a bit of camera tilt angle available to you, so you can get some really good camera tilt on your quad. And you have your flight controller and ESC system electronics in the middle here, and your video transmitter in the back. So that's basically what the frame looks like and how to put it together. I'll have another video soon where I'll actually build it out with my electronics. So if you guys have any questions on this and what I'm going to be doing with it and how to put this together, let me know, and I'll try and address those in the next video when I do the actual build. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions about this frame, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.